Hi there, welcome back to another video. So I will be applying some gel extensions today. So I'm going to get started by using the Apres pH bonder, which is basically a dehydrator. And I'm going to place this all over my natural nails. I like to do this step before doing anything else so it can just start drying out my nails. And then while that is happening, I'm going to grab the extensions I will be using for this video, which are these ones here from Apres. And then I'm going to select the sizes I need. These are one of my favorite brands of tips to use because they fit my natural nails really well. I like their sculpted styles because I have a mix between curved and flat nail beds, and this just works the best for me. So what I'm going to do is prep the inside of these with some Gel X Prep, which you've seen me or heard me talk about multiple times. I really do like this product because it eliminates the need for filing the inside of the extensions and getting dust everywhere. And if you're not familiar with this product, basically it just chemically etches the inside of the extension, adds some texture so that everything adheres appropriately. You'll know that you've done it right, basically, when the numbers on the bottom of the extension have disappeared. So I'm actually going to zoom in so you can see exactly what I mean. You can see once I put just a little bit of the product here and start doing like scrubbing motions, the numbers disappear. And that's essentially what you want to happen. So as I zoom in, you can really see how that product begins creating some texture. I find that this works best when you move the brush around in different angles. So go up and down, side to side, just get that product nice and in there, basically. Once we're finished, this is what it's going to look like on the bottom half of the extension, and this is exactly what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and finish doing this for the rest of the extensions. Go back and finish some of my natural nail prep. So I'm going in with the Apres primer and I'm going to apply this next. Once I have that all done, I'm going to go in with the Extend Gel from Apres and apply this to each of my nails. So when it comes to this product, I really like it because it's not too thick, it's not too thin, it's like right in the middle. And when you go to apply your extensions, the Extend Gel doesn't really move everywhere because it's way too runny. It doesn't not move because it's too thick. It's perfect. The price point is a little bit up there. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's not like $50 or anything like that, but it's not under $10. I will say that. I think it's like $20 right now. And I personally think it's worth it if you're doing your nails at home where you're not going through this product like water, essentially. I really like it. I can't complain about it. Before I cure in my lamp, I like to make sure there's no gel on the skin. So because my hands are so ashy, I can see if there's gel on the skin. So if there is, this is what it will look like. It'll be shiny. So what I'm going to do is clean this up. And this is another reason why I don't put any lotion or anything on, because I can see the gel and things like that. And plus, lotion and everything else can get in the polish and ruin everything. So we're just going to leave my hands nice and ashy. Don't come for me in the comments. I know my hands are dry. But anyway, to clean this up, I am going to take 91% alcohol and then just wipe it right on away. So everything is looking good. I am going to go ahead and cure this in my lamp. And then it's time to apply the extensions. So as you know, I like to work from pinky to thumb, or basically it's outside in, no matter what hand I'm working on. So next I'm going to be taking that same Extend Gel I used earlier and I'm going to apply it on the bottom half of the extension. And you really don't need a lot of this product at all. The only thing I will say is that since they have the two styles, sculpted or natural, when you're using the sculpted, it has a higher apex. So you are going to have to use a little bit more Extend Gel to fill in the gap depending on how your nails are versus if you were to use the natural style. So keep that in mind. But I'm just going to apply these like normal, and then I'm going to cure under my flash cure lamp for about 15 or so seconds. The other thing with this product, I noticed under this lamp, it doesn't cure like super fast. So for me, that is a positive because it gives me time to see how the glue is looking. If I need to move the tip over because I accidentally laid it down crooked, I have time to do that. So I really like the Extend Gel. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but it's mine right now anyway, until I try something else, right? But anyway, so I'm just gonna apply these like normal. So sometimes life happens and I don't apply enough Extend Gel and I don't catch it all the time because the camera is usually blocking the view. So if this happens after I cure, what I do is I fix this. So what I'm doing is just taking a little bit of that Extend Gel and then I'm going to grab a flat brush and push it down so that it fills in those gaps. So when I flip the nail over, it'll look like this. So there is still a little bit more of a gap. So I'm gonna add just a teeny bit more. Once I have that filled in, I'm then going to flash cure again for another 15 seconds. So now that I have my extensions all applied, I am going to place my hand in my bigger lamp. So I did get a question that asked, what do you do if glue spills out of the sides before and after curing? So before curing, everything can be cleaned up with alcohol or acetone in a flat brush. But after curing, it is a little bit harder because you have to remove the excess glue with either a hand file or a drill. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I remove everything with a drill. So I like to take my cuticle bit and I turn my drill to about 8,000 RPMs. And then I just go around the sides where the excess glue is and then remove it. When doing this, you can really feel where the excess glue is, even if you can't see it, because the extension is going to be one leveled surface, but when you're going over that excess glue, it's going to be raised. So you basically want to make sure the extension is leveled with itself. The other thing is, I have tried this process before with a different drill bit and it didn't work as well. So you have to make sure you have a good drill bit. I have tried this with the ceramic bit and I just prefer this bit that I'm using here over it. It's a lot easier, it gets it up faster, and I don't have to spend a lot of time doing so. So once I'm done removing the excess glue, I am going to start sealing my cuticles. And what I'm doing is taking that same drill bit and then just going from side to side. The newer Apres tips have such a thin cuticle line that you don't have to do too much work with these, but I do still do the process. So I just want to do a tad bit of shaping. So I'm just going to take this file here and just file the sides down just a little bit. So I'm done sealing the cuticle and everything. There's a lot of dust on the nail, but typically with other extension tips, I like to take alcohol and wipe everything off. When I do it with these, I notice they turn white and I don't need that today. So I'm gonna run to the bathroom and wash all the excess dust off. So the Extend Gel is not no wipe, and when you turn the extensions over, if you have too much glue going on, it will be sticky. So one of you recommended that I actually try the Vinalisa Temper Top Coat and place that underneath the extension to even things back out. And I had this sitting in my house, never used it, and decided that's what I'm going to try today. If I were to skip this step, what's going to happen is I'm going to be able to see those little like particles or whatever you want to call them underneath the design because I'm using sheer polishes. I've actually tried doing this before, but I used a completely different top coat and it ended up peeling off before, I think it was like 3 or 4 days. And I was sitting there like, this ain't gonna work. But with this one, it's still standing strong and I actually liked it. So thank you for telling me about it because now it's going to be a part of the routine. So now that I have this all applied, I am going to cure in my lamp, but I'm actually going to turn my hand upside down and place my hand in the lamp this way. Technically, the extensions are clear, so I could place them in the normal way, but I wanted to make sure they were cured, so I did it this way instead. So for this video, I will be doing an ombre nail. So I'm going to be taking this milky white here from Mameda, and I'm going to be placing it about 3/4 of the way down on the nail. Typically, when you see ombre nails without an airbrush, a lot of people like to use a sponge. But for me personally, I don't always love the way it comes out because it really depends on the type of sponge you're using and the polishes you're using as well. It's a lot of factors that have to go into this, and sometimes I don't have patience, if I'm being honest, and that method takes a little bit of patience if you want it to come out good. So for this method, I am applying the milky white about 3/4 of the way down on the nail, and I'm going to do this for each finger, but I'm not going to cure once I'm done. So I ended up switching from the Mameda polish to this one from D&D because the Mameda one is a little bit thicker and it also streaks in my opinion. So I needed something that self-leveled a bit better. So I switched over to this one here. And I do prefer this milky white over the Mameda polish. So like I mentioned earlier, I am placing this on the nail about 3/4 of the way down. And then I'm not going to cure it once I'm done. Next, I'm going to grab this nude base color, and this one is very sheer. It's a pinky brown type of nude, and I'm going to apply this on the bottom half of the nail. So with this, you're basically going up until the point where that white polish stops. Since they're both wet though, you need to be careful that you don't accidentally get the one color brush into the other color, because if you do and then you dip it back into the bottle that it doesn't belong, you kind of contaminate your polishes. So be kind of slow and careful in this process. So in this case, if I were to get the white on the pink brush, I'll just dip it in some alcohol and clean the brush before dipping it back into the polish bottle. I hope that made sense. It sounds a little weird. So if it didn't make sense, let me know in the comments and then I'll explain a bit further. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this for each of the nails, and I'm not curing yet at all. I'm actually going to let it sit because what's gonna happen is the gel starts to move around because gel self-levels before it cures. And so it'll start to kind of blend into itself just a little bit. If you're using different colors, maybe something more opaque, like, I don't know, some color in the rainbow, you want to make sure that you use the thinnest layers possible so that everything looks even. So next I'm going to be taking an ombre brush here, and I'm going to gently blend the colors into each other. So in this case, I am going to be moving the white down just a little bit into the pink. And it's hard to see because this layer is very thin and these colors are very sheer, but it'll be easier to see when I do the next layer. So when you're doing this, you have to use a very gentle touch because as you can see here, the bristles on this brush literally looks like, do y'all remember Cynthia from Rugrats? It looks like her hair. So if you press down too hard, it's going to be streaky in the polish and it's going to leave those brush strokes onto the nail. So now I'm gonna cure this layer for about 60 seconds, and then we're going to start on the second layer. So here's what the first layer will look like. And I did the pink first for some reason on this nail. I think I just wanted to try and see if there was an actual difference. And in my opinion, there was. The blend just didn't look the way I wanted it to. So I recommend if you are going to do this method, start with applying the color that you want at the top first, and then apply the color you want at the base of the nail. So I do want the colors to self-level fully. So I am going to let my hand sit for about, I don't know, I think I did like 20-ish seconds before I cure in the lamp, because the polishes, they're wet still, so they'll merge into each other a little bit, they'll self-level, and I want them to do all of that before I cure in my lamp. So here's what everything is looking like with 2 coats. I think this is a more natural ombre with 2 coats, but you know me, dramatic. So I am going to do a third layer. Surprisingly, I know it looks like it's a lot of work, but I swear it isn't. It actually took me less time to do it this way than when I use a sponge, because usually when I do a sponge, it takes me like 3 and sometimes even 4 layers of polish to get this done. And I spend a lot of time blending back and forth. So to me, this was easier to do, but of course, we all have our own personal preferences, but I did like this method. So here's what the ombre is looking like now. So just a disclaimer, because these polishes are sheer, you can see my natural nail under them a little bit, which is what I personally wanted to go for. Now, if you don't want to do that, then you should use colors that are opaque, not sheer or milky colors. So next, I'm actually going to be taking this top coat that I got from SV. If you haven't heard of SV Nails, they are a business I actually found on TikTok, and I believe they are still considered a small business. They've had a lot of growth since I started following them, so it's great to see them doing well. Now I'm going to place that glitter polish on top of the milky white. When working with this polish, if you do pick it up, it is very pigmented. There's a ton of glitter in here, which I really like, but for this look, I need the glitter to be a little bit more sparse. So I'm going to take the ombre brush from earlier, and I am just going to blend this out just a little bit so it looks like it's fading down the nail. And even though this is considered a glitter top coat, I'm still going to apply a glossy top coat on top so everything is nice and shiny. So let's go ahead and cure this in my lamp for 60 seconds. And I am gonna grab this no wipe shiny top coat and place this on each nail. So here are what the nails are looking like all done, and y'all, if I'm being honest, this is definitely giving wedding vibes again. The thing is, I really like classic simple nails, and most of the times that's what people wear for their weddings. So French tipped ombre with sparkle, shine, pearls, rhinestones, that gives a wedding, and this is what this gives. But I am still gonna wear these out as if I'm getting married tomorrow, and maybe it'll manifest my future wedding. If it does, I will let y'all know how it goes so y'all can do the same if that's what you want in life. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know what you think or if you have any questions. But in the meantime, I will see you in one of these videos here.